Yep, I am my tea. And I'm gonna tell you this, tea. The enemy been trying to fight me. He tried to bring a cold up on me, but no, we're not having that. Sir, the devil notice. I shall and will do this broadcast. I've been coughing all day long.
Oh, wow. All right. Well, hello, everyone. Welcome to the Author's Tea. I am your host, Kristen R. Harris, and I am super excited to be here for episode 2 of season 2 of the Author's Tea. I have an amazing guest, and I'll get into who she is in just a moment. But in the meantime, I wanted to remind you of what the Author's Tea is. For those of you who have not been here before, this is your first time joining us. The Author's Tea is basically a platform that I created to share with you some amazing women authors. There are so many female authors out here who have written their stories, and I wanted to share my platform so that you can get to know them, you could hear their stories, and you can go and support them by purchasing their books. So that's what the Author's Tea is. It's where the authors come to spill the tea on their books and things. I got my mug today. It says, Jesus fills my cup, okay? And after yesterday, I had a rough day yesterday, so I needed him to fill my cup again. So this is the cup that I'm sipping out of. And I also have on my sweatshirt that says, I don't know if you guys can see it, it says pray. So I'm all prayed up, got Jesus in my cup. So I'm really excited about this conversation that I am going to get in today with our special guest. So joining me today, I have Genina Johnson. She is the author of Purpose in My Pain, and we'll get into her book in a moment. But Genina, welcome to the Author's Tea. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for even having me. Thank you for even allowing me to share my book on this awesome, amazing, and anointing platform. I am so excited to be a part of the podcast.
Thank you for being here. So, Genina, for those of us who do not know you, can you let us know a little bit about who you are and basically what you do?
Of course. Well, I am a single mother of 3. I am the mother to Alex, Excel, and Mackenzie. I have a 12. Alex is 12, Mackenzie is 3, and Excel is 11. Besides being a mother, I am a healthcare provider, which is a respiratory therapist. I'm also in the school system now. God has shifted me into the school system. So now I am a part of the CPS family as well as a special education teacher assistant. I guess you could say I'm like the jack of all trades. Besides my career, I also have my own women's ministry, Heal Ministry, which is a non-for-profit organization that is basically based around community, bringing back resources to the community, whether it's we having events, workshops. We're working on a Feed the Homeless food drive in May. We're going to have another conference in June. And then when the Christmas holiday come up, we're going to start doing touring drives as well. So I'm excited for what God is doing with my ministry. And as you guys can see, I am now a published author. Yay! I've made Amazon bestseller list as well, being a first time.
Congratulations. I know what it feels like to make that list with your first book. So congratulations to you.
Thank you.
Well, thank you for that introduction. And that leads us right into why we're here tonight to discuss your book, Purpose. Let me see if I can get it into the frame. Purpose in My Pain. First of all, you looking so cute on the book. My daughter was like, she's so pretty. I said, I know she is.
Thank you. Thank you.
Purpose in My Pain. This book, from my perspective, it sheds light on Genina's points of pain from a childhood into adulthood. And it's so many different things that she touches on, from death to abuse to jail to dysfunctional relationships and almost everything in between. And I must say, like I said, you're so beautiful in person here, and even on the cover, you certainly don't look like the things that you have been through, okay?
Thank you. Wow, thank you so much.
Yes, so I want to just hop right into it, and hopefully you can spill the tea and shed some light on some of the things. I don't like to give away too much of the book, because I definitely want everyone to go out and support you and purchase your book. And we'll get to that a little later. But I just want to kind of jump in and touch on a few things. So in the beginning of the book, you start off in your childhood and you share with us that your mom passed when you were 13.
Correct.
How was it navigating those teenage years without your mom?
Oh, it was hard. It was so hard adjusting. But by the grace of God, God gave me an amazing grandmother. When I tell you, God knew exactly what he was doing when he called my mother home. Like, my grandmother, she's the epitome of a woman of God, a virtuous woman, a woman that loves her family and that loves God. So it wasn't so much as a hard transition, but losing a mother is hard. It's hard because it was some things, she never got a chance to see me or my twin, because I'm a twin, graduate from grammar school, high school, or college. Wasn't there for none of the births of my children, which I'm sure she was there spiritually, but physically she wasn't there. So it was hard. And in my book, I talked about how me and my sister, we was using that as an excuse why we wasn't getting good grades. And my grandmother and my grandfather was like, we're not having that. Your mother been gone now for how many years now? And you guys still want to say, oh, we still mourning over the death of mommy. My grandparents were, but it's hard. It when they say time heals all wounds, that's a touchy subject because some days I'm good, some days I'm not. Situations that come upon me, I think, man, if my mother was here, the outcome would be just a little bit different. But I'm grateful for my grandmother. I'm so grateful for my grandmother because she has been amazing.
Yeah, and I think I read in your story where you said you were really grateful because you had family and you didn't end up in the system, which could have happened because you lost your mom. So
yes.
It's interesting you bring up the point about you and your sister using your grades as an excuse. I mean, using your mom as an excuse for your grades. Do you find that even into your adulthood, there are certain things that you may use as an excuse because, it still hurts, like you said, even after all this time, it's still painful. Do you find yourself, saying, well, this is because I didn't have my mom or I was motherless at the age of 13. Do you find yourself ever saying that?
You know what? The mother part, no, but the father part, I was using that as an excuse of why I was involved in some relationships because, of course, my father was in and out of prison part of my childhood. But my mother, I don't too much. I pretty much had those daddy issues, but mother issues, I don't use that. So the only thing I used that excuse for was with them grades. But
okay,
issues I've had.
So about your dad. So you say he was in jail, and I think I read in the story that he got locked up. How old were you when he was locked up?
Oh gosh, I can remember like at the age of 7, 9, 10, 11. Yeah.
You said all the whole childhood. Okay, so you really dive into your relationships in this book. I know it was Jeremiah who was in jail. It was Eric, the baby father, Martin, the married cop, Carlton, his partner. I mean, so
I was feeling something.
What impact do you think that your father's absence had on the way that you approach these relationships?
Just not being there, as a father, just give me that, to show me what it's like, how a woman is supposed to be treated. They always say a father should be a girl's first love, and my father was, but he wasn't able to give me that relationship, that nurturing father, because he was dealing with not only his addiction, but his criminal history, his criminal background as well. So the things that I wanted, and I'm a daddy's girl, to be honest. I look exactly like my father. I am a daddy's girl to the core. But by him not being there, it was like, okay, that allowed the door to open up for me wanting and longing for a man to love me, to know what it feels like for a man to love me. I knew my daddy loved me, but because of what had him bound, he couldn't really show me the affection. I knew that he loved me, but the affection wasn't there because, of course, he was dealing with something that had him bound. So when I got older, in high school, I became promiscuous. I wanted to know what it felt like. I didn't care if a man was involved with another woman. Hey, I still want to know what love feels like. So,
yeah, because it's really interesting. In the book, you speak of the guy Eric, and you said you met him and he's like, look, you're my woman. And you like, great, because this is what I have been searching for. Like, I've been needing this companionship. I've been searching for this type of love. So you just fell right into that, regardless of all the things you saw along the way. You stuck with it, I guess, because you were looking for that.
Yes, I love Eric dirty draws, honey.
So are these their real names in the book?
Nope.
Oh, okay. I was wondering. I was like,
and it's crazy because the Lord told me when I started writing the book to change everybody's name, because I knew it was going to be some folks having some issues. So I'm always obedient to what the Lord tells me, because once that book came out, honey, some people had some issues about it. But hey, it's my truth.
Right.
And if you don't like it, you should have treated me better.
Let me tell you, girl, that's what I tell people all the time. See, a lot of women who come through my Scribe Tribe working on their books, they're like, oh, but I'm so afraid to share this story. I'm like, look, my theory is, if you did it to me, you gave me power. It's my story. And if you didn't want me to tell it this way, it should have happened differently, because it's mine. It's my story to own. You did it to me. So when you did it, it became my story. So I'm right there with you, sister. Wow. Okay. So one of the things that you say in the story, which I just love, is that your grandmother, even at a young age, because you just spoke earlier about her and how amazing she is, but at a young age, she would look at you and tell you how special you are. And you didn't understand what that meant. But fast forward, you're 19 and you get that prophetic call from God and you run from it at that age, because you're in college and you don't really want to. I get it. You don't want to live that life. I understand. I mean, I know some adults that are now in their 30s who are still running. Do you think that if you would have embraced that call at that time versus running, that life would have ended differently? Or, not ended, but you would have had taken a different path?
Most certainly, yes. When I tell you, I would have made a lot of better decisions, a whole lot better. But because of my disobedience, my stubbornness, I chose the other way. You know, God gives us free will. And I'm like, okay, Lord, hold on. Let me go on over here for a little bit. And because I went over there for a little bit, these things have come upon me. And I'm like, oh, God, what was I thinking? But yeah, definitely.
Do you regret any of the choices?
You know what? That's a good question. You're not the only one that has asked me that. Do I regret it? No, I don't regret it, because through those choices, I birthed 3 beautiful, amazing kids. So I don't regret it. I just wish that I probably would have made better decisions, better choices.
Yes, understood. So one of the things you say in the book is rejection is for your protection. Tell me what that means to you, because I thought that was really profound.
Yeah, so rejection. So in the book, I know exactly what chapter you're talking about, my daughter's father. And wow, when I tell you, I wanted him so bad. But God saw fit not to allow it to happen due to, one, he was a married man. We're not going to jump into that. But rejection, just God.
We're going to jump into it. We're going to get into it. I got some questions.
Yes. Okay. So basically, this door is trying to close. God is trying to close this door, but you keep trying to pry it open. But what's on the other side of the door is no good for you.
Yes,
no good. Yes. So that's when I say, rejection for my protection. It's some relationship that I was supposed to be involved in, but I cut it short because there's something better out there for me.
It's like Beyonce said, it's the best thing I never had. You really think that's what you need. And I can attest to that, because a relationship that I was in, I'm like, man, God, why can't this work? And I thank God for my husband. Like, because I tell the story all the time. That person that I was trying to be with, he couldn't even handle the weight of the woman that I am today. So if I would have had that, man, I wouldn't be who I am today, because that's a part of what my husband has helped birth, or who has supported in birthing through me. So So you just gotta thank God. I love that rejection is for your protection. I'm gonna be stealing that and saying that.
That's okay. Go ahead.
Yes.
Yes.
So then you tell the story of you moving to Atlanta, which is where I think a lot of people go to to start a new life again. And you say at the end of the chapter that you feel like for the first time God really had control over your life, like you had relinquished control, and it was just, okay, God, do your thing. Do you feel like you had to get away from everyone and everything to basically begin to embrace that call that was on your life, or to really submit and let God have his way with you? Was it necessary for you to move away?
It was necessary. It was necessary. And when my feet touched that soil, God was showing me confirmation that I had to be there. And I love Atlanta. My church family that's back in Atlanta, I love them. They embraced my kids, my best friend. I mean, it was an Abraham move, but that move, it had to happen, because had it not happened, I still would have been entwined in some things that I had no business. Still.
Were you afraid? Were you afraid to make that move?
You know what? I wasn't afraid because I had my best friend with me, Drea, with me. So, you know, her boyfriend went and got the house, and they're like, "Okay, well, the house is ready. I'm about to book my flight. Me and my kids, we on our way, honey." So I had my best friend with me, so I wasn't afraid. You know, she had my guy kids with her, and me and my kids, we were gone.
Wow. I know you talked a second about you and I think Martin, the married man, the married cop, who the quote that you share, "I was pregnant by a married man and my family and friends were talking about it." Ooh, that was a lot to reading that story. That was a lot to unpack. I'm going to tell you, okay?
Yeah.
But I want to know, in dealing with him, and then because the baby that you had with him, that's actually your daughter, correct?
Yeah, correct.
How did having a daughter, how did that really shift your perspective on your relationship with men?
Oh, it shifted my perspective so hard. When I tell you, this little girl couldn't have came at the right time. Seriously, because everybody know that I am girl crazy, but my first two kids were boys. And I wanted both of them to be girls. Because I'm like, I'm not ready for no boy. But God saw fit for me to have her despite my circumstance. He blessed me with her. And I knew it was something, because when she came out, my daughter is beautiful. And I don't mean to be boastful or anything, but when she came out, the doctors, the nurse, like, oh my gosh, she's beautiful. Like, look at this hair, look at her color. And I always say that this beautiful thing was birthed from an ugly situation.
Wow.
Ugly. And God allowed me to see. It was one day I was just at home with her, and he just showed me, you know, the doors, the generational curses that I was going to pass down to her if I did not remove myself from it. And the hurt that I was feeling at that moment due to her father, I didn't want her to feel that hurt. Because I'm like, oh no, my baby can't go through this. I refuse to do this. Yeah. And we have the power, the ability to break these generational curses. Yeah, we can stop to it. We don't have to keep using it as an excuse. Well, this is how I was raised. My mama was like this. My dad was like this. No, it stopped now. I have 3 beautiful kids that are dependent on me to make better choices and better decisions for them. You know, I read the news right now. It's so many women leaving their kids in the hands of other men. I can't do that. I can't do that. You know, so birthing her was like, okay, it was like an eye opener. Here's another young lady that's getting ready, eventually years down, going to embark on finding herself and knowing what it's like to love on herself. And I just thank God for her father, who shows her what it's like to have a man love you. And her father has it. Despite our situation, he's an amazing father to my daughter. I can't take that away.
Beautiful. I love it.
Birthing her, that was an album. Like, my baby can't.
Yeah, that was your gift from God. Like, look, here's your daughter. Yeah. See yourself in her. you know, like, and you got to get it together for her. I love that story. I want to talk about Wade because you touched on Wade in the story. Yeah, let's talk about Fine Wade because you said Wade was fine. So, you know, so this is at the point in your story for those of you who have not read the book, where Genina, she met Wade at some point past Atlanta, and she runs back into him in Chicago. And Wade is fine, okay? And at this point in Genina's journey, she's celibate. I'm guessing, you know, she's trying to honor God with her body. And she invites Wade over to the house, but not on anything. It wasn't even like that because they didn't even see each other like that. They were just really good friends, you know, encouraging each other. And Genina's like, so what's up? You know, I cracked up when I read that. Yeah. And Wade says, I'm saving myself for marriage. And I loved your response. You said, you know that Wade isn't the person that God has for you. But what God wanted to show you in that moment was that you didn't have to lower your standards, that you could be who you were going to be. And there is a man who is willing to support that, do that, respect that, and all of that. Like, talk a little bit more about that, like in that revelation that you got in that moment.
Yeah, because I felt, to be honest, having him in my presence. Now, mind you, I've been on this celibate journey in Atlanta, Mackenzie, 3 years old? So I'm like, okay, now here it is. A man is now in my presence, and I'm like, oh my God, and he's fine. I'm attracted to him. He's attracted to me. But, you know, to hear him say that, it was like I'm like, okay, it's men out here that actually are celibate, that respect their temples, that respect other people's temples. And I'm like, okay, because I've always thought like, okay, well, it's going to be hard for me to find a man that's equally yoked as me, that doesn't want to have sex. Yeah. But when he came, God showed me my heart desire. Like this, there's men out here.
Yes.
Because I was trusting him. I'm like, Lord, I'm going back home. These familiar spirits from the start. I'm like, where they at, Lord?
So where are you in your journey now in terms of relationships? Are you unmarried? Are you married?
No, I'm still single. I'm still single.
All right, fella, she's still single, and you already heard what she's looking for. So,
amen.
Have you found it difficult to maintain, or has it become easier?
To be honest, I literally just had a conversation with my best friend. When I tell you my tolerance, the minute I see a red flag, you can block, delete it, all that. I don't play that. I don't play that. I'm still single to this day because men out here, they still playing. They still want to do them, and that's fine, but you're not going to do me.
You're not going to do me. Right. So I love it.
My standards have been set really high. I swear I be blocking, deleting, all that. I don't play that. Now, if you had been a woman 5 years ago, then I still would have been dibbling, dabbling with these men and getting my feelings hurt and going through all these heartbreaks and heartaches. But now, nope, I'm not that same girl anymore.
Do you think it's in part because of everything that you've endured that it's just like, I don't have time, I'm good?
Yep, it most certainly does. And also embarking on that celibacy journey too, because it came apart. When I tell you, like when I was sleeping with men, it was like, okay, well, something happened. I can't go to you for emergencies, to help a sister out.
Like, that's a problem.
Yeah, no, I'm good.
Yeah. Well, so the name of your book is, of course, Purpose in Pain. Wait a minute. I'm trying to get in the light. I know what the light. Oh, there it is. Purpose in My Pain. So all of these painful things that you speak about in the book, like I said, you lost your mom, your dad was in jail. You were in these relationships that weren't necessarily working in your favor. All of those painful situations. What do you think is the purpose that you found, that you discovered in that pain?
The purpose that I found was the woman of God that God called me to be, the strong Genina. And so many people tell me, like, you are so strong. I've been through a lot. Because of what I went through, I found purpose in it. I found who I am. I found not only who I am, but my ministry, what God has called me to be, my purpose because of that. And that makes me think about when what Joseph went through in the Bible, how his brothers sold him off to be killed, and how he became a king. He became rich and powerful. And he said, what was that saying? He said, because you thought it was for bad, but God turned it around for my good. What you meant for bad, God turned it around for my good. And God turned it around for my good. He now allowed me to birth this book. I have a non-for-profit all women's ministry as well. God is doing some amazing things through my testimony. And because our testimonies, that's how he gets the glory.
Yes.
Everybody thinks this Christian walk is a cakewalk. It's not.
Has it been difficult for you to be transparent and share your story, or did that just come easy to you?
It came easy to me. It came so easy to me. I'm like an open book. And that's what God, and a lot of people say that's what God loves about me. Like, I'm so transparent. I don't mind sharing my life story. That's just who I am.
And you know what? I'm very similar to you. Like, I'm an open book. And because God shared this with me one day, he said, because I can trust you with my glory, I'm going to always give you a story. And that's just the way it is. Because if you're going to open your mouth and share it, like, this is what I've been through, this is how God brought me through it, this is the game that I learned from it, you're going to always find yourself in something that, reveals his glory in your life. So as long as you're transparent, as long as you got the yes, because that's all he's looking for is a willing vessel.
Yes. Amen.
Wow. Oh, Genina, you're so amazing.
Thank you. Thank you. You are too.
Oh, thank you. So one of the things that we ask everyone that comes through the Author's Tea is, what is one of the greatest books that they've ever read? Because we believe that hashtag writers read, okay? So if you could think of one book, and I know that's always so hard for everyone. They're like, one book? I read so many books. But
yes.
The first one that comes to mind that you're like, man, that was a great book, and why?
I read Juanita Bynum, No More Sheets, when I was 19 years old.
Wow.
And the transparency of that book, how she just said, no more. She took the covers off. She unveiled herself. And that right there, and that's crazy you asked me that, because that brought back to my remembrance, me reading that book, No More. She went across the world and spoke conferences about that. And that's, man, just the transparency, her being vulnerable at that moment while writing that book.
What did it do for you?
I mean, you know what, to be honest, it prepared me. It actually helped prepare me for my journey, for my walk. And mind you, I read that book when I was like 19 or 20, so I'm still dibbling and dabbling. But that prepared me for my journey. It did. It really did. And it allowed me to see that we can actually be I don't want to say the authors, but we can be in charge of our own destiny. We don't have to settle for less anymore. Yeah. We can be all that God called us to be. We don't have to, dummy down to feel like, oh, well, because I feel like I got 3 kids, nobody's going to want me. The devil is a lie, and the truth ain't in them. Somebody want me.
Yes.
Yeah. So No More Sheets definitely was one of my the most amazing books that I've read.
Wow. I've never read No More Sheets. I heard about it a lot back in the day when Juanita Bynum was at the height of her game. But you make an interesting point about, reading that book when you were 19. And I think a lot of times we don't even understand that sometimes those seeds that we take in, we're not even prepared to even use that information just yet. But it's like, get it, hold on to it. And here you are years later with your own ministry, you're helping women. And I'm sure so much of that information that you took in from that book when you were 19 is now coming out in the healing that you're helping women to come to.
Yep.
Wow. All right. Well, Genina, tell us where we can purchase your book, Purpose in My Pain, because I'm sure everyone wants to read it now after we've talked about, we touched on a few of the things that are going on in the book.
Yes, of course. You guys can purchase it via Amazon or Barnes & Noble, whichever one. I believe the paperback is $19.99. If you want to do ebook, it's $5.99. So whatever your preference is, go out and purchase my book. If you want to find out more about my non-for-profit ministry, healministry.com is where you can find out who we are at Heal Ministry and what it is that we do. I'm so excited. Oh, I love this. This is amazing. Thank you so much. Oh, so relaxed and just chill.
I know. I tell everybody it's just a conversation. We just chilling, just girl talking. We were sitting up. That's why we got our little cups and
our tea.
Yeah, drinking our tea and you spilling the tea. Genina, how can everyone connect with you? How can they find you out in the cyber world?
Okay, of course. Well, Instagram, you guys can find me on Genina J Instagram, but also Heal Ministry also has a Instagram, Heal Ministry, straightforward. Facebook as well. My name is Genina Johnson. We have a Facebook group, Heal Ministry as well. But actually, I haven't been obedient with the Heal Ministry Facebook group. I'm actually in the process thinking about deleting it because I haven't been too active about with the Facebook, but you can find us on Instagram, Heal Ministry. You can find me, Genina J, on Instagram as well, and Genina Johnson on Facebook.
Wonderful. You guys go connect with Genina. As you can see, she is a mighty, powerful woman of God, beautiful lady. I'm so honored that she came through and chatted with us for a few moments on the Author's Tea. I see that someone wrote a comment, Vanessa Parker. She said, definitely going to purchase the book. This was the inspiration I needed to write my own. That is such an amazing segue because guys know at the end of the Author's Tea, I always send out a plug for the Scribe Tribe. Those of you who do not know what the Scribe Tribe is, it is a community where we teach you how to push that book out. It's been down in your belly for years, and it is time to write that book. So you can come and join us at the Scribe Tribe. The link is bit.ly/Scribe Tribe. We have an online training program that walks you all the way through from paper to publishing. There is no excuse to not get that book out this year. And I'm super excited because the Scribe Tribe been popping, you all. When I tell you that we have a book launch Saturday, Rashida Alford, her book Beautiful Scars is coming out Saturday, April the 5th. Caprice Gutierrez, her book Prayers Up, Weight Down is coming out. So the Scribe Tribe has been busy, and you guys have no excuse. You want to write that book, it is time to write that book. All right. So, Genina, is there anything you want to leave the people with before we get off of here?
I just want to thank everyone for the support, the love that they have been showing me. Man, this journey has been amazing, 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 amazing. The love that I've been getting and showing. Just stay connected with me. I got some more events coming up. Like I said, we're getting ready to do Spring Out of Hunger, where we're getting ready to feed the homeless. And also, I have a Gracefully Broken conference that's getting ready to be.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, so you guys just stay connected with me. I know this season, I just came from out of a season being gracefully broken, and God gave it to me, so I got to be obedient.
Yes.
To do. So I'm just so excited for what God is doing in this season. I love you guys. Thank you so much for just, sticking it out with me. I see my family, my sisters in Christ, my cousin, my friends. I see them all.
Hey, everybody. Thank you for coming through to the Author's Tea and supporting your girl.
Yes, thank you so much.
Beautiful. Well, Genina, this conversation has been a pleasure. You're a beautiful woman. I can't wait to hug your neck in person.
Yes,
You know, I
yes,
meet all these people on social media, and I'm like, I just got to meet y'all in person.
yes, yes, yes. The next event you have, please don't hesitate to invite me. I would love to come out, vice versa.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Well, guys, please go if you have not read Genina's book, Purpose in My Pain. Please go and find her book. She gave you all the links, Barnes and Nobles. Go to her website, Heal Ministry. And in the meantime, guys, please, if you're working, you got a book inside of you, it's time to write. It's time to pull that book out. The world needs your story. Someone's
Yes,
healing is locked up in your words. Someone's deliverance, someone's freedom, all of that is locked up in your words, and it's time to push that out. I will be back in 2 weeks for another episode of The Author's Tea. I will be sitting down with Stephanie Roberts. Super excited about that. In the meantime, guys, you guys stay blessed, and I will see you when I see you. Thank you guys for tuning in to The Author's Tea. Bye.
bye bye.